In other news, the Republicans finally united to elect a speaker after a 3-week period of the House being speakerless, and they have elected Representative Mike Johnson from the 4th District of Louisiana. And in case you're not familiar with Mike or even the Heritage Foundation, the Heritage Foundation gives every member of Congress, both in the House and the Senate, a score based on how they vote. A score of 100, for example, means a congressman has voted 100% in line with liberty. A score drops from 100 if they have voted against liberty. Like Nancy Pelosi, for example, has a score of 12 out of 100. Well, Mike Johnson has a lifetime score of 90%, which is really good. So this is great news. He is apparently a Christian man, and he is very confrontational to the liberals. And President Trump also thought it was good news. Here's what he had to say. Congratulations to Representative Mike Johnson. He will be a great speaker. Make America great again. So Trump is clearly excited, and Mike Johnson himself tweeted the following. It is the honor of a lifetime to have been elected the 56th Speaker of the House. Thank you to my colleagues, friends, staff, and family for the unmatched support throughout this process. It has been an arduous few weeks and a reminder that the House is as complicated and diverse as the people we represent. The urgency of this moment demands bold, decisive action to restore trust, advance our legislative priorities, and demonstrate good governance. Our House Republican Conference is united and eager to work. As Speaker, I will ensure the House delivers results and inspires change for the American people. We will restore trust in this body. We will advance a comprehensive conservative policy agenda, combat the harmful policies of the Biden administration, and support our allies abroad. And we will restore sanity to a government desperately in need of it. Let's get back to work. Now, why did it take 3 weeks, and why did we go through so many names and people? Well, you've just witnessed the kind of the underbelly of politics, and it's the underbelly that you usually don't get to see just out in the open, but in this situation you're seeing it and no one's really explaining it, so I will. Long story short, there's a bunch of deal making going on, and there's a bunch of deal breaking or outright refusals to make deals. I mean, for example, Jim Jordan could not get the vote of about 20 Republicans. Well, that's because Jordan wouldn't make a deal with those 20 people. Congressman number 1 says, Jim, I'm not going to vote for you unless you do this for me. And then Congresswoman number 2 says, Jim, the only way I'll vote for you is if you scratch my back. And then Congressman 3 says, Mr. Jordan, there's no way I'm going to make you speaker if you don't grease my palms. And Jordan, being one of the most principled men in Washington, D.C., says, no thanks, and drops out after 3 failed votes. I mean, if you just think back to earlier this year, this is why it took McCarthy 14 separate votes to become the speaker. He had to compromise and make deals and scratch backs and make promises and commitments. And then after 14 attempts, he finally became speaker. And then he was removed when he broke one of those promises. He didn't keep one of those deals. So the establishment Republicans are not wanting to settle until they get someone that they think they can manipulate and abuse and wield. But it's impossible to know if that's the case with Mike Johnson yet. But we shall see soon enough. As a Christian, there's nothing wrong. In fact, there's everything good about swearing allegiance to the American flag. Why is that? Because of the virtues of which the flag flies. It speaks to our providential founding and has been for nearly 200 years a symbol of freedom to those who seek it. You can fly the American flag with pride from your front porch or out in the front yard. You can even hang one on the wall in the house, the garage, the office, or wherever you wish. I recommend getting a flag that will last and withstand the weather throughout the seasonal changes of the year. So check out the supplies at Allegiance Flags. Check the link in the show notes or head over to WeTheFreeShow.com for more. Military and first responders get 10% off all orders.